Hello everyone, hope you are well. I wanted to continue on my legend series, and today I wanted to give one of the finest batsmen that Pakistan have ever produced. Really classy, elegant, one of the most stylish batsmen who had sublime timing and who had a silky touch. I should say he was one of the best batsmen on the eye, and he was widely respected and admired by cricket fans all around the world. And I have to also say a couple of comments that former great players made about him before the end of the video, because some people probably don't watch the entire video and they deserve to hear this. Once, when he hit a back foot flick shot for six of Mark Elam of England, the great Barry Richards of South Africa was in commentary, and he said, I quote, "What a shot! Dear oh dear, how do you explain that shot? Sensational, and it shows the talent that this man has." I mean, these few words from Barry Richards is worth a million words. And Shane Warne, the great Shane Warne, once said that of all the players that he has faced from all the countries, he was the best opening batsman, and that he was an all-round player, and that he was excellent against fast and pace and spin, and that he could really play well on both sides of the wicket, which is an absolute huge compliment coming from the great Shane Warne. And Wasim Akram, the greatest fast bowler in my book, also said that Saeed Anwar was, sorry, I gave the name away, was an all round player and an absolute magical batsman. And Ramesh Raja, the great Pakistani former batsman, once said that he could brush the field like a Picasso. I mean, that these are amazing words coming from some great players about an absolutely classy, stylish magician with the bat, Saeed Anwar. He is someone who should have easily been in the top 100 legends, but I do give it according to different eras and bowlers, batsmen, different countries. So he kind of fell out of the 100, and it's a shame that he was not in my first 100. Saeed Anwar was born 6th September 1968 in Karachi in Pakistan, and in all he played only 55 test matches, which is an absolute shock for me. And he scored 4,052 runs, and his average was 45.56, and he scored 11 hundreds, and all those 11 hundreds were magical big innings. I'll explain it later. And his highest score was 188 not out versus India in the Asian Test Championship in the late 90s. And he carried his bat in that innings, obviously being means opening the batting and being not out at the end of the innings. And in one day internationals, he played 247 matches, and he scored 8,824 runs, and he scored 20 hundreds, and that is the highest by any Pakistani. No Pakistani has scored more than 20 one day hundreds for Pakistan, so that is a world record for Pakistan. And his highest was an absolutely magical 194, which came against India in 1997, which I was watching as a 13, 14-year-old, and he could have easily got a double hundred. And that 194 was the world's highest one day individual score for 13 years until Sachin Tendulkar scored that 200 against South Africa in 2010. And I still remember that innings. There was a hat trick of sixes against Anil Kumble, and when he got out, there were still 21 balls remaining. And a lot of batsmen in international cricket would have just nudged the ball around and got to their 200, but he was an absolute team player, and he went for runs. And I even remember how he got out. He went for a shot over long on, and Saurav Ganguly took a very good catch running backwards. And I still remember Saurav Ganguly's head hit the floor quite hard, and he had to leave the field. And there was another something different also in that innings. Shahid Afridi was a runner for Saeed Anwar. So there were three Pakistani batsmen on the field. I mean, these days in cricket, you cannot have a runner. So one of those nostalgic moments when a runner was used, and Afridi and Saeed Anwar walked out, and he was congratulated by some Indian players. And the way he even said thank you, it just shows he was a classy guy, an absolute gentleman. And he's also the first Pakistani to score an ODI one day international century on Indian soil. the first Pakistani batsman. And considering Miandad, Saeed Abbas, great batsman that Pakistan have produced, is an absolutely fantastic achievement. I mean, and he has another big record. He's the highest. He's the Pakistani who has the highest average against Australia in Test matches. His average is a staggering 59.06 against Australia. And considering the high class bowling that Australia had in the 90s, mid 90s, later Shane Warne, Glenn McGrath, Bradley, etc., it is a magnificent achievement to average 59.06 against that Australian attack. I don't think many players in the world can boast of that record. And once he scored 362 runs in a series. Sorry, it is hard. 362 runs against England in a series, which was the second highest aggregate after Alex Stewart. And Pakistan won that series. This was in 96. Pakistan won that series 2-0 when there was Wasim Akram and Waqar Younis. And at the Oval, he scored a magical 176 as well. And it was a match winning effort. And another great innings that Saeed Anwar played was 169 versus New Zealand at Wellington. And again, Pakistan won by big. They won by an innings, and Wasim Akram was the man of the match. In that match, he got 11 wickets. So it shows every time Saeed Anwar scored these big centuries, Pakistan were winning, which is an absolutely fantastic thing for a batsman. I mean, when you get runs, if your team wins, it is a massive thing. And I'll always remember that 100 against South Africa at the Kingsmead Durban in 1996 97 tour, where so that was the first time Pakistan ever beat South Africa on South African soil in a test match. And Saeed Anwar had scored 118 runs in the second innings. It was a magical innings. And Mustaq Ahmad was the man of the match in that test. I remember he got 9 wickets in that test match. Again, another century away from home, resulting in a win for Pakistan. And he also scored a big 113 not out against New Zealand in that World Cup semi-finals 1999, which was held in England, another away 100. And he is the one who actually took Pakistan into the finals of the 1999 World Cup. And another thing about Saeed Anwar, which is very special. I mean, normally we all know Asian batsmen normally struggle against Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, and England in their conditions. Saeed Anwar has an average of more than 40 against three of these four teams: South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, England. Three of the four teams he averages more than 40, which is excellent. And like Shane Warne said, I mean, he was just excellent. On the offside and the leg side. And one thing I once saw a one day match in South Africa in the Standard Bank One Day International Series. He flicked a ball of Alan Donald for six, and that ball was just outside off stump. And he had hit another six, which was a kind of a swipe pull shot for six as well. But that was an absolutely magnificent shot that flick over mid wicket for six, a ball that was outside off stump of a really fast bowler like Alan Donald. Not a lot of batsmen has the talent to treat Alan Donald like that. And he was just sublime. I mean, he could hit a ball outside off stump through the covers, beautifully timed, elegant, classy, and he could just flick the same ball to the leg side for a six. I mean, please go on YouTube and check this shot that I'm saying. The one Donald S was less. His shot against Mark Elam. It is titled as shot of the century. I mean, Mark Elam, who was not the fastest, but he had enough pace. It was like a medium pacer. He pulled a ball to Saeed Anwar that I mentioned in the beginning of this video. And Saeed Anwar just went on the back foot and he flicked it for a six. I've never in my life seen anyone hit a six of a flick shot off the back foot. I mean, on the front foot, yes, you can hit the ball with sweet timing. If you flick it, it's easier. But on the back foot to flick it over, it just takes absolutely wonderful God-given wrist and timing. Saeed Anwar was definitely one of the greatest timers of the cricket ball. We talk about David Carr. He was definitely in that mold. David Carr, Mark Waugh, Damien Martin, some of the most stylish, elegant batsmen that I've seen. Carl Hooper was also very stylish, but definitely Damien Martin, Mark Waugh, Saeed Anwar, David Carr, they all come in that league. And even Wasim Akram says that Saeed Anwar had an amazing sense of humor. He was a wonderful gentleman. He played cricket in the right spirit and he was highly, highly respected all around the world. I mean, there is no proper real cricket fan who wouldn't enjoy Saeed Anwar. I mean, he was just an absolute treat to the eye. I mean, he was just amazing. And that 188 against Asian Test Championship, that was also resulted in a victory for Pakistan after they were bowled out for 185 in the last match. And Saeed Anwar, I mean, he was just amazing with Mamir Sohail. I've said in some of my videos, my favorite all-time opening partnership is Desmond Haynes and Gordon Greenwich, and that will never change. But I used to love watching Saeed Anwar and Sohail bat in the one-day years, especially both being left-handed and very aggressive, attacking left-handed batsmen who played proper shots, but with a lot of timing and a lot of elegance. So anyway, that is my video for Saeed Anwar. And I just want to say absolutely thank you very much to Saeed Anwar for the amazing memories. It was an absolute privilege, an absolute blessing, an absolute treat to watch you bat. The way you played strokes, it was just a beauty. You were a poetry in motion, and everyone who has watched you play live were really blessed. And thank you for also being a classy gentleman on and off the field and an amazing ambassador for Pakistan cricket and for world cricket. And you are highly, highly respected and admired all over the world. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I'm sure there are a lot of people who probably have been wondering where Saeed Anwar is in my Legend series. It is my absolute pleasure to give you one of the most classiest touch geniuses of all time. Take care. God bless you.